April 27th begins with a strange kind of pressure in the air, like something invisible has already been sent, and your soul is only waiting for it to arrive. Uranus has just entered Gemini, and its first full week is opening a new 8-year cycle of messages, shocks, choices, and sudden truth. This is not quiet energy. This is the kind of cosmic signal that can appear through a call, a notification, a dream, a conversation, a social media post, or one unexpected sentence that changes the way you see everything. And for Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius, what arrives now may not feel small. It may feel like the universe is breaking the silence on purpose. Do not ignore what comes through now. Do not dismiss the strange pressure in your mind, the nervous pull in your body, the feeling that something is about to change. The way your attention keeps returning to one person, one decision, one message, one door you have not opened yet. Uranus in Gemini has begun its first full week, and this is the moment when the air becomes electric. The universe is not asking you to believe in coincidence. It is asking you to recognize the signal. The signal may not be loud at first. It may arrive as a thought you cannot shake. It may arrive as a delayed reply that suddenly tells you more than a full conversation ever could. It may arrive as an idea that wakes you up before sunrise. It may arrive through technology, through social media, through a message from someone you have not heard from, through news about work, money, love, movement, travel, identity, or the future you thought was still far away. But whatever form it takes, you must understand this. The signal is not random. It is the first vibration of a new cycle. Uranus is the planet of shocks, awakenings, reversals, rebellion, liberation, and sudden truth. Gemini is the sign of messages, choices, words, thoughts, siblings, neighbors, short travel, online movement, learning, speaking, writing, and the way your mind organizes reality. When Uranus enters Gemini, the universe begins changing the way information moves. What was hidden can surface quickly. What was delayed can accelerate without warning. What was confusing can become obvious in one sentence. What was silent can suddenly speak. What you thought you understood may break open into an entirely new meaning. This is not ordinary communication energy. This is a cosmic signal moving through the nervous system of the collective. It can make people speak before they are ready. It can make secrets leak. It can make someone reveal their true intention through their tone, their timing, their reaction, or their absence. It can bring news that forces a decision. It can wake up a part of you that has been asleep under routine, fear, people-pleasing, or emotional exhaustion. And because this is happening as the moon moves through Virgo on April 27th, the signal becomes sharper, more specific, more uncomfortable, and more impossible to ignore. The Virgo moon does not let you float away from reality. It brings the details back into focus. It asks what is working and what is not. It asks what needs to be fixed, cleaned, organized, named, healed, corrected, or finally admitted. Under this moon, you may notice the small thing that changes the whole story. The words someone used, the message they avoided, the pattern you kept excusing, the habit that has been draining your energy, the bill you need to handle, the conversation you need to stop delaying. Virgo energy has a way of making the invisible visible by pointing to the tiny crack in the wall. And then, shortly after the day begins, the moon becomes void, of course. This matters. It gives April 27th a strange emotional atmosphere, like standing in a hallway between two rooms. Something is building, but not everything is ready to move. Something is being shown, but not everything should be acted on immediately. The void moon can create delays, pauses, unclear movement, and a feeling that the signal has arrived but the door has not fully opened yet. This means the universe may show you the message before it shows you the next step. That is why April 27th feels like a threshold day. It's not because everything instantly resolves, but because the signal begins. You may not have the full answer yet, but you may finally know where to look. You may not receive the final decision yet, but you may sense which direction is ending. You may not hear every word you were waiting for, but one sentence, one silence, one detail, one emotional reaction may tell you enough. This is the kind of day where the universe does not hand you the whole map. It lights up one symbol on the screen and waits to see whether you are awake enough to notice it. Before this moment, many of you have been living in a strange emotional static. You may have felt like your mind was too loud, but your life was not moving fast enough. You may have been waiting for a reply, waiting for clarity, waiting for money to shift, waiting for someone to decide, waiting for your own courage to return. You may have felt tired of repeating the same conversations inside your head. You may have been asking yourself why something feels close but still unreachable. Why the old version of your life feels too small but the new one has not fully appeared. Yet, this is the uncomfortable space before a signal breaks through. It can feel like confusion, but often it is spiritual preparation. It can feel like anxiety, but sometimes it is your nervous system detecting change before your mind has language for it. You may have felt restless, distracted, emotionally distant, or strangely alert. You may have had dreams that felt like warnings. You may have been seeing repeated numbers, hearing the same name, remembering old conversations, or feeling pulled toward a decision you keep postponing. And deep down, you may have known that something was not finished. Something still needed to be said. Uranus in Gemini does not allow dead conversations to stay buried forever. It does not allow fake peace to remain comfortable. It does not allow you to keep calling confusion patience when your spirit already knows the truth. This energy is a warning, but it is also an activation. The warning is this: what is unstable may become obvious now. The activation is this: what is true may finally move. The karmic shift is this: the version of you that kept waiting for permission to speak. Choose, leave, begin, ask, learn, create. Or change direction is being interrupted by the future. And sometimes the future does not knock gently. Sometimes it arrives like a signal cutting through the static. It does not ask whether your life is organized enough. It does not wait for everyone to understand. It comes because the old frequency can no longer hold you. And this is where you must be honest with yourself. What have you been pretending not to know? What have you been explaining away? What message have you been hoping would arrive from someone else, when the deeper message has already been arriving from your own intuition? You may feel this in your body before you see it in your life. A tightness in the throat, pressure behind the eyes, a strange buzzing in the chest, a feeling that you need to check your phone but you do not know why. A sudden need to clean your space, organize your desk, delete old files, change your routine, reply to something, send something, write something, or finally say what has been sitting inside you for weeks. The body becomes an antenna under Uranus. Energy. The mind becomes a receiver. The heart becomes the place where the signal lands and asks, "Are you ready to hear this?" Some of you may feel unusually sensitive to sound, messages, notifications, conversations, and people's tone. You may notice that certain voices calm you while others disturb you. You may realize that someone's energy has been affecting your nervous system more than you admitted. You may feel overstimulated by too many opinions, too many tabs open, too many unfinished tasks, too many emotional loops. This is not weakness. This is your system telling you that the signal needs space. You cannot hear divine instruction clearly when your mind is crowded with noise that does not belong to you. This is why April 27th asks for discernment. Not every message deserves a response. Not every sudden thought is a command. Not every emotional trigger is truth. But the signal that matters will have a different quality. It will feel sharp, quiet, and undeniable. It may even make you still for a moment. It will not feel like panic. It will feel like recognition. It will feel as though a part of you already knew, and now the universe has simply placed the evidence. In front of you, the waxing gibbous moon adds another layer. This lunar phase is not the beginning, and it is not the final release. It is the building pressure before fullness. It is the moment when something is almost ready to reveal itself. Under this moon, emotions grow brighter. Details become harder to ignore. The unfinished becomes louder. What has been building behind the scenes may start pushing toward visibility. This means April 27th may not deliver the entire outcome, but it can deliver the sign that the outcome is close. And this is where the spiritual lesson becomes powerful. You're not being asked to force the door. You are being asked to read the signal. There is a difference. Forcing the door is chasing, demanding, reacting, sending too many messages, making decisions from fear, spending money to soothe anxiety, or trying to control another person's response. Reading the signal is observing what is already happening. It is noticing who shows up and who disappears. It is noticing what flows and what keeps requiring pressure. It is noticing where your energy expands and where your body contracts. In money and abundance, this transit can be especially important because Gemini rules information. Its choices, movement, and quick decisions, while Uranus brings sudden shifts. This can show up as unexpected financial news, a new income idea, a technology-related opportunity, a message about work, a client reaching out, a sudden expense, a change in online visibility, or a realization about how your skills can be used differently. But the warning is clear. Not let nervous energy make your money decisions for you. Uranus can create excitement, but excitement is not always wisdom. If you feel pushed to buy something, invest in something, quit something, start something, send money somewhere, slow down long enough to separate intuition from impulse. True signal does not need you to panic. It may ask you to move quickly, but it will not make you abandon your intelligence. With the moon in Virgo, the universe is saying, check the details, read the fine print, review the numbers. It's the pattern. Fix the leak before you chase the dream. Protect your resources while the air is electric. For some of you, abundance comes through a new idea, a message, a skill, conversation, a post, a platform, a connection. Sudden realization that what you know, what you write, what you say, what you teach, what you create, or what you understand has value. Uranus in Gemini can activate people who make money through words. Media, online work, technology, communication, writing, speaking, marketing, learning, networking, sales, data, design, or ideas. But this is not about copying what everyone else is doing. Uranus rewards originality, Gemini rewards movement, Virgo rewards usefulness. The signal may be showing you where your voice can become valuable, but abundance is not only money, it is also self-worth, and this transit may show you where you have been negotiating against yourself, where you have undercharged, over-explained, over-given, or allowed people to take your time without respecting your value. A sudden conversation may reveal who sees your worth and who only benefits from your availability. A sudden opportunity may show you that you are more ready than you thought. A sudden ending may protect you from continuing to pour energy into a place that was never going to return it. In the body, April 27th needs careful handling. Uranus can overstimulate the nervous system, and Gemini energy can scatter the mind. Virgo moon can make you hyper-aware of what feels wrong, what needs fixing, what is out of order, and what has been neglected. So you may feel wired and tired at the same time. You may feel mentally awake but physically drained. You may sleep lightly, wake suddenly, dream vividly, or feel your body asking for cleaner routines. More water, less noise, and more stillness. Your body may send signals through digestion, tension, headaches, shoulder tightness, throat pressure, restless legs, or a strange inner buzzing. Again, this is not something to fear. It is something to listen to. The body is part of the spiritual story. Sometimes your intuition does not arrive as a sentence. Sometimes it arrives as a knot in the stomach when someone speaks. Sometimes it arrives as relief when you decide not to reply. Sometimes it arrives as exhaustion after spending time around the wrong energy. Sometimes it arrives as deep calm when you finally choose yourself. So protect your nervous system. Drink water. Rest your eyes. Step away from too much scrolling. Do not feed yourself 1,000 signals when the universe is trying to send one clear message. Give your mind quiet, enough to recognize what belongs to you. You may need to clean your space. Take a short walk. Write down what you are feeling. Stretch your body. Breathe before responding. Or simply choose silence instead of explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Now, in relationships and communication, this is where the energy becomes deeply personal. Uranus and Gemini can change the conversation. It can bring sudden honesty. It can reveal mixed signals. It can expose emotional immaturity. It can make someone reach out unexpectedly, or make you realize that someone's silence is its own answer. Under this transit, words carry electricity. Timing carries meaning. Tone carries truth. And the absence of a message may speak just as loudly as the message itself. You must watch behavior now. Not fantasy. Not potential. Not what someone said months ago. It's not what you hope they meant. Watch what they do when clarity is required. Watch how they respond when honesty enters the room. Watch whether they make space for your truth or only enjoy your presence when you are easy to manage. Watch whether someone communicates to connect or communicates to control. Watch whether they listen, deflect, disappear, blame, minimize, or finally become real. For some, this can bring a conversation that changes a relationship. For others, it can bring the realization that a conversation will never become what you need it to be. That is painful, but it is also freedom. Because the Signal is not always go back. Sometimes the signal is stop waiting. Sometimes it is believe what the pattern has already shown you. Sometimes it is do not mistake emotional intensity for emotional safety. Sometimes it is the person who keeps you confused is not always deep. Sometimes they are just unavailable. Sagittarius especially may feel this through relationships, because Gemini sits opposite Sagittarius. This can put the mirror directly in front of partnership, love, contracts, commitments, and emotional truth. Someone may say something that changes your understanding of where you stand. A relationship may need a decision. Conversation may reveal whether two people are growing together or simply repeating a familiar wound. Garing. All the honesty while someone else carries all the avoidance. This transit may make that imbalance impossible to ignore, but this is not only about endings. It can also bring sudden reconnection, emotional breakthrough, or the courage to speak with more maturity than before. Uranus does not only separate, it liberates. Sometimes liberation is the truth that sets a relationship free from old fear. Sometimes it is the message that finally opens a locked door. Sometimes it is the realization that love cannot survive on guessing games, but it can transform through honest language, clear boundaries, and real emotional responsibility. This is why your guidance for April 27th is simple but powerful. Do not chase the signal. Observe it. Do not panic because something feels different. Study the difference. Do not respond to everything immediately. 8. Let the first wave pass so the deeper truth can appear. Do not make promises from pressure. Do not spend money from anxiety. Do not reopen a door just because the past knocks loudly. Do not ignore a door just because the future scares you. Write down what happens today and what you feel around it. Pay attention to names, conversations, digital signs, repeated thoughts, and sudden insights. Ask yourself what the signal is trying to show you, not what your fear wants it to mean. Have one honest conversation if the moment is grounded. Step back from one pattern that keeps draining your energy. Clean one area of your life that has become mentally heavy. Check your money, your schedule, your health, and your messages with calm eyes. The Virgo moon is not asking for perfection. It is asking for precision. And now, the 4 signs most affected need to listen closely. Us. The signal may move through each of you in a different way. Gemini, this begins with you. Uranus has entered your sign, and that means the signal is not just around you, it is inside you. Your identity, your voice, your image, your direction, your nervous system, your choices, and your relationship with your own future are being activated. You may feel like the old version of you is suddenly too tight. You may feel restless in places that used to feel normal. You may want to change your look, your name, your message, your work, your online presence, your circle, your daily rhythm, or the way people know you. But Gemini, this is deeper than a mood. This is an identity reset. Uranus in your sign can make you unpredictable, but it can also make you honest in a way you have not been able to be before. You may suddenly realize that you have been performing a version of yourself that kept everyone comfortable, but kept your own spirit trapped. You may receive news that forces you to choose a direction. You may speak a truth that surprises even you. You may stop caring about being understood by people who only accepted the older version of you. The signal for Gemini may come through your own mouth. A sentence may leave you, and once it is spoken, you cannot return to pretending. You may tell someone what you really want. You may admit that something is over. You may say yes to something that scares you. You may say no with a calmness that shocks you. You may receive a message that confirms what your intuition already knew. And when it happens, do not rush to explain your awakening to everyone. Some people will only understand after your life changes enough to show them. Gemini, your warning is to protect your nervous system from chaos. Uranus in your sign can make everything feel urgent, but not everything is urgent. You do not need to answer every message, follow every idea, or become every version of yourself in one day. The signal is real, but it must be grounded. Use Virgo moon precision. Write things down. Organize your thoughts. Choose the idea that has roots, not just electricity. Your activation is not about becoming scattered. It is about becoming free. Virgo, April 27th, speaks directly to your emotional body because the moon is moving through your sign. You may feel everything more sharply. You may notice what is wrong, what is unfinished, what needs repair, what needs a plan, what needs closure, and what can no longer be ignored. But the deeper message for you is not to fix everyone. It's to understand what the universe is trying to fix inside your relationship with control. You may receive sudden news connected to work, home, family, health, responsibility, routine, or a conversation that changes your sense of direction. Something that felt confusing may become clear through a detail you almost missed. A message may reveal the truth behind someone's behavior. A delay may protect you from moving too quickly. A pause may show you what your anxiety has been trying to outrun. And because the moon becomes void, of course, you may feel like you know something, but you cannot act on it fully yet. That is not punishment. That is timing, Virgo. You are being asked to listen without immediately turning insight into labor. You do not have to clean up every emotional mess the moment you see it. You do not have to solve the entire future today. You do not have to make someone else's confusion your project. The signal may show you where your energy has been overextended. It may show you where you have confused being needed with being loved. It may show you where your body is tired of carrying pressure your heart never agreed to hold. Your warning is perfectionism under stress. Do not punish yourself because life is changing faster than your plan. Do not assume that uncertainty means failure. Do not let one unexpected message make you spiral into 10 possible disasters. Your activation is discernment. You are being given the ability to see the small truth that changes the larger pattern. Trust that. Write it down. Acting. The universe is not asking you to control the signal. It is asking you to receive it clearly. Sagittarius, the signal comes through the mirror. Gemini is your opposite sign, which means this Uranus shift activates the world of relationships, agreements, contracts, commitments, emotional honesty, and the people who stand directly across from you. Someone's words may affect you more than expected. A conversation may change how you see a relationship. A promise may be tested. A silence may become too loud to ignore. A truth may enter the room and force both people to show who they really are. For Sagittarius, this can be intense because you often try to rise above emotional complication by looking toward the bigger picture. But this time, the universe may bring the message through one specific person, one specific conversation, one specific choice. You may be asked to stop running from the detail inside the story. You may need to ask, is this connection honest? Is this agreement fair? Is this love mutual? Is this person growing with me? Or am I dragging a future out of someone who keeps choosing the past? This can bring love drama, yes, but not the shallow kind. This is soul-level clarity. Someone may return with unexpected words. Someone may reveal feelings. Someone may expose their confusion. Someone may finally say what you have felt for months. Or you may realize that the answer you wanted from someone is no longer as important as the freedom you feel when you stop waiting for it. The signal may be romantic, but it is also karmic. It shows you whether a connection expands your spirit or keeps your nervous system in survival mode. Sagittarius. Your warning is not to turn sudden emotion into a final decision too quickly. Let the message land. Let actions follow words. Consistency proves sincerity. Your activation is emotional truth without self-abandonment. You can be open-hearted without being reckless. You can forgive without returning to the same wound. You can love someone and still require clarity. The signal is teaching you that freedom and commitment are not enemies when both people are honest. Aquarius. Uranus is your modern ruling planet, so when Uranus changes signs, you feel the frequency shift in a way others may not understand. This movement into Gemini can activate creativity, romance, online visibility, future plans, self-expression, children, passion, risk, and the part of you that wants to create something original. The signal may arrive as an idea that feels strange, but exciting, a creative download, a sudden attraction, a message from someone who sparks something in you. A new direction for your platform, your work, your art, or your future. Aquarius, this is not just inspiration. This is a frequency change. You may feel like the universe is asking you to stop hiding your unusual mind, as you may have been holding back because you did not want to be misunderstood, judged, copied, or dismissed. But Uranus in Gemini does not reward silence. It rewards signal. Your voice, your ideas, your originality, your way of seeing the future may become the very thing that opens the next door. You may receive news connected to an opportunity, collaboration, audience, creative project, romantic interest, or long-term dream. You may suddenly understand what you need to build next. You may feel pulled toward a new form of communication, technology, writing, speaking, teaching, content. or digital movement. And because the Virgo moon is active, the message is not only dream bigger, it is also make the idea usable. Turn the lightning into a system. Turn the vision into a practice. Turn the signal into something people can actually receive. Your warning is emotional detachment when something real is trying to reach you. Aquarius. Sometimes you leave the room mentally before your heart has finished speaking. May ask you to stay present long enough to feel what the signal means. If love arrives, do not analyze it until it disappears. If inspiration arrives, do not dismiss it because it does not fit your old plan. If visibility opens, do not hide behind the fear of being seen. Your activation is creative courage. Universe is asking you to transmit, not retreat. And for everyone listening, whether you are one of these signs or simply feeling the shift in your own chart, April 27th is a day to respect the signal. It may not give you everything, but it gives you enough to know that the old frequency is changing. A new communication cycle has begun. Words matter now. Timing matters now. Screens, messages, dreams, ideas, conversations, and nervous system reactions may carry meaning. The universe is teaching you a new language. And the first lesson is attention. There is a reason the message may come during a void moon. Sometimes the universe does not want you to act immediately. Sometimes it wants you to stop long enough. To see the pattern without rushing to control the outcome. The pause is part of the prophecy. The delay is part of the protection. The unanswered question is not always abandonment. Sometimes it is a sacred waiting room where your spirit learns not to betray itself just because clarity has not fully arrived. So today, let the signal come. Let it show you what is moving, what is ending, what is awakening, and what is asking. For your honesty, let it reveal who can meet you in truth and who only knows how to meet you in confusion. Let it show you where money needs structure, where your body needs rest, where your heart needs boundaries, where your voice needs courage, and where your future is beginning to speak in a language you are only now learning to understand. Do not be afraid if something feels different. Different is not always danger. Sometimes different is the first sign that the universe has stopped allowing you to live below your truth. Sometimes the life you prayed for begins as a disruption to the life you outgrew. Sometimes the message that changes everything does not sound like comfort at first. It sounds like honesty. It sounds like a door unlocking. It sounds like a signal cutting through years of static. April 27th is the beginning of that sound. In Gemini has opened the channel. The Virgo moon has sharpened the details. The waxing gibbous light is building toward revelation. And now the universe is asking you to listen with your whole life. Not just your ears, because the message is coming. The signal has already begun. And once you hear it clearly, you will not be able to return to the version of yourself that pretended not to know.